John O'Brien here live. Discussion of the day's deer mineral. It's May 22nd here in Wisconsin. Seems to be about the time that people start thinking about deer mineral, even though it probably should have been about 60 to 90 days ago. I've been a nutritionist for 27, almost 28 years. I got probably 270 some products in the industry out there in the distribution chain. Probably did 7,500 formulations in my day. I've done this a time or two. Here are some basic concepts when it comes to deer mineral or free trace minerals in general. Rule number one, the Bible, thou shalt not have more than 30% salt. Salt regulates intake. If you use too much salt, you will not get enough consumption into it. That's one little trick we do when we're trying to use fly control, when we're trying to use wormers, when we're trying to use some kind of medication where we do not want the animal to overconsume it. We jack the salt level up. In the wildlife industry, for whatever reason, people tend to like to put a lot of salt in it. For whatever reason, price point, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. Over 30% salt. Our deer mineral, our free trace minerals get hard when we have rain, snow. Oxide, copper oxide, manganese oxide, iron oxide. Oxides are the least available form of trace minerals, followed by sulfates, then chelates, in the forms of proteinates, and then followed up with the polysaccharides and the hydroxides. So, for example, zinc, if you use zinc oxide, and your tag says 1,000 parts per million of zinc oxide, and the next guy's got 1,000 parts per million of zinc on the tag, and it's from sulfate, guess what? His 1,000 is actually 35% more bioavailable. Now let's say a company was using a combination of sulfates and the time-release chelated trace minerals. Say if tag A has 1,000 parts per million of zinc, tag B has 1,000 parts per million of zinc, but from a sulfate chelate form, there could be as much as 2 times more bioavailable zinc than the one using zinc oxide. Okay, let's move on to the next level. Thou shalt not forget to use dust control. What's a common form of dust control? Typically mineral oil, vegetable oil. Animals do not like dust. And again, when we have a dusty deer mineral, any free trace mineral, you'll see a reduction in intake. And again, nutrition is what is actually consumed, not what's in the bag, not what's just on the tag. It needs to be consumed. Okay. Another thing, calcium and phosphorus are our most important nutrients in deer mineral. The higher the level. For example, if you have a deer mineral with 16% calcium and 8% phosphorus, and you got another deer mineral that's got about 12% calcium and about 4% phosphorus. It's all about the units. It's all about the groceries. Thou shalt always have as much calcium and phosphorus in your deer mineral as you can fit. If it's the two most important nutrients, why not? Next level. Thou shalt not forget to put magnesium in your deer mineral. Again, magox, that is one form of oxide that we can use. It's the most commonly available form of magnesium. This is one case we do not want to use magnesium sulfate, also known as Epsom salt. That actually reduces palatability, and the deer will not want to eat your deer mineral. So thou shalt not use magnesium sulfate. We shall use magnesium oxide. Now, little tip: thou shalt not forget sulfur. Sulfur is really important to help convert nitrogen, protein, into amino acids. Protein is the most required nutrient in growing antlers and also body mass. How do we convert that protein that's found in the forges, the browse, whatever deer's eating? Sulfur is a part of that equation. Okay? So, thou shalt not forget potassium, especially when it gets warm. One of the biggest, most prevalent, most in high amount of concentration that we need is potassium. Potassium helps handle that stress, that heat stress. It's about cation anion exchange. Everything is about positive and negative charges. When we need to have more potassium in our diet. So again, don't forget the potassium in our deer mineral. Okay, what else should you consider? Thou shalt not consider or forget to consider or don't formulate vitamins. And again, vitamins are not as critical during the peak of the growing season. But since you should always have mineral out there throughout the year, where the vitamins are the most important is during that early spring flush or right before the onset of it. And then again, after our forages really slow down or go dormant. So again, that could be in late October, early November. And again, even though deer, their maximum consumption period is generally, April through late July, you should always have free choice mineral, deer mineral out there because it can be a monitoring tool. So again, maybe that could be one of the commandments. Thou shalt not forget that deer mineral is free choice mineral and a monitoring tool, not a be-all, end-all. What does that mean? It means when a deer consumes heavy amounts of mineral, there's probably a reason for it. All of a sudden they shut down or slow down on the consumption. Maybe it's because you got a lot of available top quality browse and forages available. And all of a sudden you see an escalation of consumption of that mineral. You need to start scouting your fields. Try to figure out why did the deer all of a sudden start hammering the mineral. It could be as simple a solution as you need to cut your clovers and perennials. The quality really start plunging on it. Maybe you ran out of good quality food plots, depending on the time of year we're talking. Use it as a monitoring tool. Okay? And again, thou shalt understand the deer mineral is about the groceries. We touched on a little bit. There's no way in the world you can get a minuscule amount of nutrients in the mineral. If you have a deer mineral, it's like a 500 parts per million of zinc. How does it affect the diet? You can't expect a lot out of a little. It's all simple math. Let's walk you through it again. 8% calcium is only half as much as 16. 4% phosphorus is only half as much as 8%. 1,000 parts per million of zinc is only 20% much as 5,000 parts per million of zinc. 10 parts per million of selenium is only half as much as 20. You can't make wild claims without looking at the tag. The tag says a lot, but as I said to you, there's more than meets the eye. Flavoring. Another area we'll discuss. In the wildlife industry, there's a lot of flavors that are great, attractive to the end user, us. But are they natural to deer? And again, are they attractive where they might be really powerful or curiosity for 1 or 2 times, or are they sustainable where deer are attracted to it over a long period of time? Which leads into the other thou shalt. Thou shalt not switch deer mineral sources without mixing part of what you've been using without what you're going to use. For example, if you've been using a orange bag deer mineral for a number of years, don't let it run out. Use a half of that bag with a half of what you're going to use. Mix it together. Or put some of the new underneath and have the old stuff on top. Deer are creatures of habit. Deer and most ruminants resist change. In the farming world, farmers know not to run out of one thing and always convert into another. The wildlife industry, that could be one of the most common reasons why the guy's not seeing great early on consumption of deer mineral. You're not used to that smell. That can be a consideration. So, in summary, Deer mineral. It's free choice mineral. The concepts are basic. It's all about the units. It's all about the consumption. Don't expect more than 1 ounce of deer mineral consumed per day. You want to know what proportion of their diet a deer is getting out of a mineral? Simple math. Let me walk you through it. Look at the tag. For example, if a deer mineral has 2,000 parts per million zinc, take that 2,000 times it by 0.06, which is 1 ounce, which we'll use as a reference as a common intake if you have a top quality palatable deer mineral. What would that number be? That number would be 120 parts per million. Now let's assume a buck is about a smaller year and a half, 2.5-year-old buck is 125 pounds. They eat 4 pounds of dry matter per day. Take that 120, divide it by 4. That means you're getting 30 parts per million out of the mineral. That's the contribution in the diet. And our CS requirements are in that 40 to 80 range. So again, it's just simple math. Take the nutrient density by 0.06 divided by 4 pounds of dry matter from that 125 pound deer. If you get a bigger deer, 200 pound deer, you need to divide it by 5.5, and you'll get what the contribution is in a diet. So basic deer mineral concepts from John O'Brien. Thanks for listening. We'll go in more detail